I think I can take that. See, mathematics, anything which is verbal or which is not propounded by mathematics does not give a quantity to it. And everything is measured. One's intelligence is measured, one's height, weight is measured.
Just functional utility. No?
Functional utility.
No, not only decorative utility.
Yes.
But that was just a joke.
Yes.
You're substantiating my point.
That I agree. Decorative plus functional. A tie is a decorative value, tie is a functional value, it can be protective from.
Here I hope it was functional value.
Yes, it is functional value. We did not go in much detail because of that some people's what we call aversion to mathematics. That's why we did not go much detail. Now second point about public sector in India. Now happy worker is a good worker normally. But in public sector what happens? People are happy, but people may not be good.
That's what my point is.
Contention is that I can tell you a simple story. A person in India, he was just relaxing. An American will reach there. He said, "Why you are? It is a business time and you are just sleeping." He said, "What should I do?" American said, "No, you work hard, you expand your business and all that." He said, "What will happen after that?" He said, "You will earn more money." What will happen after that? You will buy a bungalow, you will buy a car and all that. After that, you will be more comfortable. The man simply said, "I am comfortable even now. What to do?" So their happiness is not that work. They have become a bit lethargic. A laziness and happiness, there are two different things. Happiness, I say, it is a state of mind, and happiness is not a lethargy of laziness. Happiness, happy person is free from certain negative qualities like worry, stress, and all that, and he is filled with positive qualities like optimism, hope, cheerfulness, and some indicators of happiness. A person is happy, you can see from his face, he smiles. You can see from his laughter, which can go across the boundary of the room.
It is more happy than ever.
Yes, that's a symptom. And if people could be smiling or happy in the presentation, I will say that presentation is successful.
That means over happiness is bad.
No, happiness.
Because when people become lethargic,
Yes.
it is rather out of over happiness. They are more satisfied. Over satisfied, they don't want to make extra effort.
In certain case, the second law of inertia, those who have read physics works, that law of Newton's second law says that a body means object, will continue in the state of continuous motion or less unless some external force is applied. That is the law. If something is moving and there is no force to stop, it will not stop. And it happens in the orbit. There is no other force to stop it. And if something forces stop, you can stop even a moving train. So in that inertia, those public sector people, some force is needed to make them up.
Question into orbit.
I mean, I agree with the overall perception, but then the point is you can't say that in public sector they are not good, in private sector
I
they
am
are
not.
better. The perception, there is the culture which is more important. Culture which is prevailing in public sector, culture which is prevailing in private sector. So that's what makes the difference. If I am not wrong.
No, I agree. The cultural point we took in the case of Japan.
Yeah.
And if you see the culture, what is culture? There are certain habits which can be formed easily, can be dropped easily. Habits make the form behavior and attitude. And over the years and centuries, culture is formed of a group of people or society. So culture grows up slowly and dies slowly. So public sector, it is not that once, I am not singling out any public sector or private sector. There are cases of examples of successful public sector where people are working happily and Mr. Garg may be knowing that they are doing best. So it is difficult to quantify or single out on any single factor. That's my
I want to clarify.
If I'm permitted to continue just a little bit, in the Indian context only, you see a public sector called Maruti Udyog, which has got the Japanese collaboration. And as he has pointed out, in his concluding part, we have given the factors and the things which make a worker happy. But in the conclusion, he's mentioned that it is the good worker who's happy. I mean, he doesn't really mean that a person who's lazy, who's lying, who's just spreading around in the sun, and is supposed to be happy. No. It is the person who's doing his job, who has job satisfaction, who's skilled, getting the satisfaction. He is the happy person and he contributes to the growth. And thus he is a good worker.
Again, I'd like to differ. A good worker may not be happy.
That is correct.
Far from that, most of the times, if there are no structural mechanisms to promote him out of the way, he is an unhappy person. And bad worker
In
is
fact, good workers in Maruti, I know of instances where general manager marketing, he had left Maruti to join STC because for the simple reason that he was a good worker, but he was not a happy worker.
See, happiness is
In spite of the culture in Maruti, one of the best cultures in public sector in India.
But what actually your contention is well taken. We are, I mean, the question side has been talking about exceptions.
Yes.
But by and large, your contention is right. When we're talking about say 100 people, 90% people are having the same sort of attitude. If they're happy, they're good workers. But for exceptional, say 5% or 2% people, they may not be, they may be very good worker, but it may not be acceptable because of some reason by peers, by top management, and that is why they may not be liked and they have to leave that place. They may be good person. I certainly say that they are always good person, not necessarily that the person who is living is a bad person. A good person also leaves the organization. So, but by and large, wherever it is, 90%, family, you take the workplace, you take the organization, you take society, you take wherever it is. Generally, your contention that by and large, the happy workers or happy people are generally good people.
So I will make a final.
Could I just make a
Could you
point?
make one
Yes,
point,
yes.
please? And then
About
if
this
you
one.
could make their final
Yes.
comments, and then we'll
About this
close
point
it.
only, because I am holding a separate theory when he says that we are talking about exceptions. I am not talking about exceptions, rather I am talking about generalities when I say a happy worker is not necessarily a good worker. And I will illustrate my point by dividing the workers into two categories. Higher level people are definitely motivated by job satisfaction elements. But the lower level people, the actual shop floor worker type people who are much more in majority, they are not motivated by those factors as such. They are motivated by if they can get liberties without doing much work. I am talking from Indian context, not from European context. Good officer will not leave because of just temporary unhappiness. But a worker, if he is able not to do work and get the same amount of salary as another person who is doing work, he will not. And
So I
he
will
will
make a
be
final.
happy.
See, there are two, I would like to add only 2 points. That happiness, first of all, we have found individual worker, individual work is complex. Number 2, we have found worker that happiness in the context of organization only. But a human being, not a worker only. He spends a lot of time at home, where his wife, his kids contribute to him, his neighbors contribute to him. So if in exceptional case we take a person who is not happy, be a good worker or otherwise, the factor may not be with the theories, maybe with the other factors which may be temporary or permanent. Now we come to the case where the top level may be unhappy and motivated and all that. Here instances can be quoted when a happy secretary just quit from the permanent secretary, quit the post because a remark was passed by somebody. You may be knowing the case. Yes, I think you recollect. So there is, and lower level problem is that we have used Indian context, which I avoided because many of us may not be fully aware of that part. What are the problems, what are the situations, they are not knowing, so I did not touch upon a particular any instance. But in India, the problem is the lower part, the lower, you can say the worker or shop floor people, they are not well paid. And their expectations are rising. So this type of discontentment, which does not have much bearing with the work, is coming out of other social factors. For example, explosion of TV. Even worker can watch a car going on, but he cannot afford. That makes him discontent, and the discontent emerges in other factors. That's my point. And finally, sir, last point. As I said, that happiness depends upon the family also, and many of our colleagues who have brought wives here, I don't want their wives to be unhappy because I am holding them. That's my point.
Are they more happy?
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, Bernard, you've done a very good job there. We'd like to,
We hope.
cut off now.
Yeah.
Shall we stay sitting down just
Sure.
what is this?
I think he's getting a final pat around the audience.
He's got a person going to the loo, you know.
Yes, that's right. He's going to get away from the back out.
He's got it really.
Well, we'll We'll give him 30 seconds, otherwise we'll start anyway. But okay, because time is obviously passing by.
Well, I think we can start and he'll get...
I think so. So you're going to come and sit down, Bernard?
Yes, I'm coming.
He's got caught by the bug here.
He has got job.
Yes, he wants to stay there with the camera.
Yes. Happy worker, you know.
Career change when you get back.